What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my tutorial series. In the last episode, we created a user's page so that way you could access every single user on the page without having to type them. In this episode, however, we're going to be creating a Nav Bar for our website. And if you don't know what a Nav Bar is, let's just hop into Twitter, I guess, is the most primary example. So at the top of Twitter's page, and pretty much every page in Twitter, so I don't know, if we just click on whatever this is, it'll take us to this guy. I don't even know if I follow this guy or whatever, but we can click on this and it takes us to this page, and you can see this nav bar stays present on every page of Twitter you go to. So like whatever this is, it stays up there. You can see it pretty much any page on Twitter, it's going to stay there. So we're going to be creating essentially just a version of that. And in fact, almost every website you visit on a daily basis has one of those. So I don't know, if we go to like YouTube or something, you can see, YouTube is going to have one at the top where you can access the home page as well as your profile and pretty much all of that. So we're going to be making one of those. So let's get into it. So the way this is going to work is we're going to add it to our header.php because the header is what's going to show up at the top of every single page. So yeah, we're going to do that. So the first thing you need to do in the header.php, is we need to create a little, what's it called? We need to add a header tag. So header, push tab, and inside the header tag, we need a nav tag. So let me explain these two tags. The header tag is basically an HTML5 element that's going to tell the browser, hey, this is going to go at the top of the website before any of the body content. So yeah, it just kind of separates our site. And this is the nav. And now what nav does is it's going to take any sort of list of elements, mostly links, and it's going to order them from side to side. So like up here we got these side to side rather than vertically like a list would. So yeah, inside this nav is we're just going to be putting a bunch of links. So let's just add our first link here, and it's just going to link back to the home page. So you guys probably know how to do that. So href and what is it called? It's called our home page is called index.php, and we're just going to put inside the body of the link something that says home. And now we're just going to do one of those for users. So and push tab, href equals users.php, and inside the body we just put users, and that's pretty fancy. So those are the two ones we have right now. We don't really have much else to put in our site, but what we are going to do is we're going to link to the person who signed in. So like if we go to Twitter again, I guess that's always just the easiest example. You can see at the top it's got my sort of criterion and my stuff that I can edit and all that. And it's also got a tweet button. Now if I wasn't signed in, it wouldn't have these two things. So we're going to be implementing a system like that. So let me just save it and let me show you what this looks like so far. So if we just refresh, boom, we get a home and a users. If we click users, we can see all the users. If we click on Captain Falcon, we can click back home, and we got all that. But we're going to allow the user a way to access their profile from the nav bar, because that is pretty useful to be able to access your account from wherever you are on the website. So to do that, we're going to need some PHP, which is expected by now. So just PHP, and what we're going to do is we're going to say if logged in, so logged _ in. So if the user is logged in, then what we want to do, let me put some brackets here. There you go. So if the user is logged in, what we want to do is we want to say, well actually we're gonna display the user data, but else, so if they're not logged in, we just want to give a link to the sign in page because that's just easier. So we'll do it first. So so we'll do we're gonna stop the PHP. So yeah, and then PHP. So if they're not logged in is what this is. So if the user is not logged in, we're just going to display a link to the login page, which is and href is going to be registration.php, and we're just going to put in here login, and there you go, capital. Okay, so that's what that's going to do. And if they are logged in though, we want to display some stuff about their profile, so I'm going to break the PHPs here again. So question, and then PHP, and this is our PHP break, and then we're just going to say and if they're logged in, we're going to link to their profile, as well as a sign out button. So the first thing we're going to do is link to their profile. So if they are logged in, we want to link to their profile, which is profile.php question username equals, and here's where we're going to insert the username. So go still inside the quotation marks. Go ahead and insert a PHP, which is just question PHP, question closing PHP, and inside of here is where we're going to type echo. We just want to echo out the username of the user, so $_session, and then inside these quotes we use username. And now that is basically how we're going to provide a link, but we need to provide something in the body, and it's exactly the same. So I'm just going to go all the way over here, and I'm just going to shift until we get to this question, and I'm going to move it, or I'm going to copy it, not move it. We're going to go to this body of the link, and I'm just going to boom, so that way we have a link to their profile. Now if I save this, not Control A, Control S, sorry. So if we refresh the page, we can see, boom, we have Pichu, that's his name. If we click on it, it takes us to Pichu's profile, because we are signed in as Pichu. And if we were signed in as a different user, it would say that, but that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much how you do that. Now we need to provide a way for our user to sign out. So we want them to sign out of the website. If they don't want to be on it anymore, they can sign out. So the way we do that is we're just going to create, inside of our if logged in, we're just going to make a new link to a page called signout.php, and we're just going to put in the text sign out. And now you're probably all saying, well, we haven't even made a signout.php. Let's do that now. So I'm just going to right click. Actually, no, you can't do that. We're going to right click on the forum, new file, and I'm going to save it as sign_out.php. And yeah, so now this file is literally only going to be like 5 lines long. It's just going to be a PHP tag in there. And then inside the PHP tag, we're just going to do session SESSION_start. And then, semicolons. And we're going to go session_destroy. And then do that. And then we're just going to call header. And we're just going to redirect them back to our page. And I'll explain what all this does in a second. So we're going to go location, index.php. Oh, PHP. Okay, so you're probably all thinking, well, what the heck is this? Well, this is going to basically handle signing out. So first thing, it's going to start up the session, so this page can use the session. Then it's going to destroy the session. So whatever session is currently on the server, or for the user, it's going to destroy it. So that way the user is signed out. And then we're just going to redirect them back home. So that way it looks like nothing happened. So that is basically the file. Looks fine. So let's just see if it works. So if I refresh here, we can see we're still signed in. Oh, come on. Oh, I didn't save, I don't think, the header.php. Save. Now let's see. Refresh. So you can see there's this sign out button. So if we click that, it's going to sign us out. And if we are signed out, if we're not signed in, we can see this login button. If we click it, it takes us to the registration page. We can sign in again with Pichu. I don't know any other accounts off the top of my head, so we'll just use that. And we'll go not sign, well, Pichu. And we'll sign in. So submit. And boom, we're signing in as Pichu again, and we can have the sign out button. Now that's pretty cool, but what I want to do is I want to make this go all the way to the right. So I want to make all this show up at the right of the page rather than the left, because this isn't really, like, most of these websites have this separate from the actual pages you can visit. So we're going to do that too. So inside our nav, we're going to come down here where we have this index.php and all this stuff, and I'm going to try this. I've never actually really done this. I've never messed with divs. But we're going to try to put it inside a div. And a div is basically a part of the website where you, it's kind of like, it's like a separate part of the website. It's a section of your website that's still, it's an HTML thing, I guess. But we're going to put inside here a div, and it's just going to separate these elements from the actual rest of the nav bar. So I'm going to come down here at the end of nav, and I'm going to put that there. And now this div needs to start after these links, because we want all of this profile junk to be on the right. So surround this in a div, and maybe if you guys want, I'll talk more about divs later. I might get Aiden to do it because he actually knows what he's talking about. So we'll do div, and then we'll do, we need to give it a class so it can stay to the right. We already made one a long time ago. It was called class right, so we're going to go class equals right. And if we save that and we refresh, we can see that, boom, this junk gets popped over to the right, which is fantastic. And yeah, now the only one thing I want to do now is just add a way for you to see your profile picture. next to next to the username, so that way they can see their profile picture. It just makes the website look a bit nicer. So we're gonna do that. But yeah, so let's just go into our thing right here, and we're going to add an image. So img is how you do image. So image, and the source is going to be this is going to be a bit weird, but you'll understand it. So we're going to go question PHP, and then question or closing question. And now inside this PHP, we just want to echo out. So what we need to do is we need to echo out the user, or the profile picture. So to do that, we created this function called getUser a long time ago. So we're going to utilize that function right now. So if we go down here into our image PHP echo, so we want to echo out. This is going to be a weird syntax for you guys who've never done something like this. We're going to call getUser, and inside the parentheses, we'll do $_session, and then what's it called? So we want to do the session username. So that way we're getting the data of the username, but we want to get the index of the profile pic. So profile_pic. And now the way we do that is, you can see we have this ending function, and then we have the array, like index thingy, the square brackets. So we're gonna do we do the parentheses and then the square brackets. So that's gonna look weird, but if we save it, if you do it exactly like that, we can see that it's going to display Pichu. Yay! So it displays them on the right, but we need to make that a bit smaller, because can you imagine if I had like a 6,000 pixel profile picture? We don't want it to be gigantic. So we're going to come in this image over here, and we're going to do width equals, we'll just do something real small. We'll do like 70, and that's going to make the picture look really distorted, but it's going to look small. So there you go, Pichu. That may be a little bit too big. I don't know what the size YouTube does, but those are circular anyway, so we'll just try 40. That's probably going to be really small. Yeah, okay, so that's alright. So I'm just going to add one more thing, and we're going to be done. And this one more thing is just an HTML element. It's just going to be a line at the end of our header, which is of course just HR, and put a slash, and boom. Now if we refresh, we've got a horizontal line, and we are done. That's a bit wonky, but I mean, whatever, man. So if you guys have hated this tutorial, slap a dislike on it. Tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong in the comments below. If you loved it, however, consider giving it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more dank content. Follow me on Twitter in the link in the description. Until next time, you little scrub nuggets. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!